Hello and welcome to this new tutorial. First of all, thank you for your patience because it took me a while to finalize this pattern. Today, we're making a backless crop top with an original collar in one piece as usual. I'm really proud of this pattern. Please let me know what you think. There will be other versions to come too, so don't hesitate to follow me for other tutorials. We're going to use connected double crochets like for Tunisian crochet, so that the result is completely opaque. For a size S to M, you'll need about 300 meters of yarn that corresponds to a 4mm hook. I'm going to use this cotton and wool blend in terracotta color, and from the Rosatex brand that I bought at Noz. You'll need more for sizes above that. Stitch markers, a pair of scissors and possibly a tape measure. We'll start with a slip knot. And we'll make 8 chain stitches. So, I have 8. We're going to skip 3 stitches and double crochet in the 4th stitch from the hook. The 3 chain stitches we just skipped count as 1 double crochet. We're going to continue to double crochet in each stitch across the chain. And so we end up with 6 double crochets. We turn around and do the second row. We start with 3 chain stitches. We skip the first stitch and double crochet in the next stitch. And we continue to double crochet in each stitch. The last stitch being at the very top of the chain of 3 chain stitches here. And we end up with 6 double crochets again. That is 6 stitches. We turn around and start again. Exactly the same. And we're going to start again until we have 31 rows. Everyone crochets in their own way, so the size of the rows can differ from one crocheter to another. But my rectangle tape is 38 centimeters. For comparison, we take 2 stitch markers. We're going to mark the 4th row from each end. And we're going to put the marker around the double crochet that's at the very edge. We're now going to crochet on 3 sides of this elongated rectangle. We turn over. The beginning is the same. 3 chain stitches. We skip the first stitch and double crochet in the next stitch. And we continue to double crochet in each stitch until the second to last. Here, we're going to turn the corner by crocheting directly into the space of the 3 chain stitches. So, I'm already making 2 double crochets. Then 2 chain stitches. And 2 more double crochets. And so we move on to the next side. We made an increase to turn the corner. We continue with a double crochet in the next stitch. Then a double crochet in the next space. A double crochet in the next stitch. Then a double crochet in the space. A double crochet in the stitch. And it's always going to be the same system when we crochet perpendicularly. We should have 7 double crochets on this side when we reach the stitch marker. We're going to remove it. And we're going to increase to make a corner. So in the same space, we make 2 double crochets. Two chain stitches. And 2 double crochets still in the same space. Same as for the first increase. And we continue with a double crochet in the next stitch. Then in the next space, in the next stitch, and so on until the second marker. In the marked space, we're going to make exactly the same increase as for the first. That is to say 2 double crochets, 2 chain stitches and 2 double crochets. The rest, you already know, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. 1 double crochet in the next space. And so on, until the stitch before the last space. Since we're working symmetrically, in the last space, we're going to make the corner increase again. That is to say 2 double crochets, 2 chain stitches and 2 double crochets in the same space. And we've moved on to the last side. We're working again in the stitches of the base chain, with a double crochet in each of the 5 remaining stitches. With the 4 corner increases we made on this row, we end up with 5 sides separated by 2 chain stitches. The next row will be a mesh row. We go back and start with 3 chain stitches. We skip the first stitch and double crochet in the next stitch. Then a double crochet in each stitch until we reach the first corner. So even though it's a mesh row, the first and fifth sides are still solid. In the space with 2 chains, I continue my solid side with 2 double crochets. I make the 2 chains that take me to the next side. And we start with a double crochet and a chain stitch in the same space. We make a double crochet in the next stitch, the very first one after the 2 chain space. A chain stitch with a skip stitch and double crochet in the next stitch. And we start again. A chain stitch, skip stitch and double crochet in the next stitch until we reach the next corner. We finish this side with a chain stitch and a double crochet in the 2 chain space. And then 2 chains to move to the next side. As before, we start with a double crochet and a chain stitch in the same space, then double crochet in the next stitch, the very first one after the 2 chain space. Chain 1, skip stitch and double crochet in the next stitch. And we continue this mesh pattern to the next corner. And since we're working in symmetry, we're going to do exactly the same thing here. 1 chain stitch, 1 double crochet, 2 chain stitches, 1 double crochet in the same space, and 1 chain stitch. And we continue the mesh pattern to the 4th corner. We finish this side with a chain stitch and a double crochet in the corner space. 2 chain stitches to move to the next side. And since the last side is solid, we make 2 double crochets in the space and continue with a double crochet in each stitch until the end. We're going to alternate solid rows and mesh rows. But starting from this 3rd row, we're going to make an increase at the beginning and end of each row. 4 chain stitches and then double crochet in the first stitch. The first 3 chain stitches count as 1 double crochet, so we added 2 stitches at the beginning. We continue to double crochet in each stitch. We finish the side with 2 double crochets in the corner space. 2 chain stitches to go to the next side, and 2 double crochets in the same space to start the second side. Since it's a solid row, we just double crochet in each stitch, so double crochet in the next stitch. The next stitch is a chain stitch, so I go right under it to make the double crochet. And we continue. We arrive at the 2 chain space in the corner. You know the drill. We make 2 double crochets, 2 chain stitches and 2 double crochets. And we always make the same increase for all the other sides. At the end of the row to make the increase symmetrical to the first. We make 1 chain stitch, then 1 double crochet in the same stitch. And we have an increase of 2 more stitches at the end. Turn and start again with the increase. So 4 chain stitches. Then double crochet in the first stitch. The double crochet of the next stitch is made in the space with 1 chain stitch. And we continue with a double crochet in each stitch. As I said, we alternate. So we are on a mesh row. And we do the same increase as we saw previously. 2 double crochets to finish the solid side. 2 chain stitches, 1 double crochet and 1 chain stitch. And we continue with the mesh pattern. In the corner, I'm just giving a little reminder. Chain stitch, double crochet, 2 chain stitches, double crochet, and 1 chain stitch. And it will be the same in the next corner. We have already seen it also for the fourth corner. We make 1 chain stitch, 1 double crochet, 2 chain stitches and 2 double crochets. And we continue, of course, with a double crochet in each stitch. For my last 2 stitches, I double crochet into the single chain space. And then double crochet into the last stitch that is on top of the 3 chain stitches from the beginning of the previous row. 1 chain stitch and 1 double crochet into the same stitch for the last increase. So here, we're going to add 2 more rows, as I said, alternating. We're going to start the last 2 rows again. That is, a solid row, then a mesh row. So we have a total of 6 rows with 4 sides. We go back to do the next row, and we're going to do a row of single crochet for the border of the collar. We start with a chain stitch, then an increase in the first stitch. That is, we make 2 single crochets in the first stitch. And we continue with a single crochet in each stitch until the first corner. In the space with 2 chain stitches, we make a single crochet, a chain stitch and a second single crochet. And we're going to mark the chain stitch that is in the middle. We continue with a single crochet in each stitch. In the next corner, we make 3 single crochets in the space with 2 chain stitches. And we continue with a single crochet in each stitch. And of course, since it's symmetrical, we're going to do 3 single crochets in the next corner. And 1 single crochet, 1 chain stitch, 1 single crochet in the fourth. So I'm in the fourth corner. I'm going to do 1 single crochet, 1 chain stitch, and 1 single crochet. And I mark the chain stitch that's in the center. We always continue with 1 single crochet in each stitch. And in the last stitch, I make an increase. That is, 2 single crochets in the same stitch. We can say that we've finished the first step. With the next row, we're going to close the collar. And it's going to fold like this. So we go back, we're going to work again with double crochets, 4 chain stitches, and then 1 double crochet in each stitch up to the marker. We remove the stitch marker. And we start our double crochet up to the insert. We remove the other stitch marker. And we insert the hook. And we double crochet through both stitches. And we continue the row normally with a double crochet in each stitch. And we always make the increase at the end of the row. We turn over. We start the row normally with our 4 chain stitches, but this time, the double crochets will be connected in the Tunisian way, so that we can't see through the fabric. So after the first double crochet, we insert the hook through the 2 bottom loops of the previous double crochet. Yarn over, pull up a loop and insert, and pull up a loop through the next stitch. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the 2 remaining loops. So that's the 3 loops of the classic double crochet. But with the double crochet connected, the second loop made with the yarn over, and replaced by this insert. Pull up in the base of the previous double crochet. We still have 3 loops and we finish it normally as usual. Visually, it looks like 2 rows of single crochets on top of each other, but I find it's more fluid and more opaque. So I'll let you add as many rows as you like. Feel free to test fit to get the right length. For my model, I added 16 centimeters from the opening of the collar. But you can continue if you want. You just need to have the hook on the right side when the garment is right side up to make the last row. The garment is right side up when the solid rows of the collar are right side up, when the collar is folded. We will make a last mesh row. You already know the pattern. 4 chain stitches, double crochet in the first stitch. 1 chain stitch, a skipped stitch and double crochet in the next stitch. And so on, 1 chain stitch, skip stitch and double crochet in the next stitch. So double crochet in the last stitch and the last increase. We will make the edge in single crochet. One chain stitch and single crochet in the first stitch, the one of the last double crochet. Then single crochet in the space. And single crochet in the next stitch. It's like at the very beginning, in fact. We alternate a single crochet in the space and a single crochet in the stitch. The edge will be a little pinched, but it will allow the clothes to follow the curves of the chest. We have a row of single crochets that will count as a stitch right here. So we make a single crochet in this stitch. And we continue with another stitch that is at the top of a double crochet. A single crochet in the space, then a single crochet in the stitch, and so on all the way down. I have the beginning yarn that is wandering, so I'm going to take advantage of it to hide it. And I still have the row of single crochets coming. So they're in the stitch of the double crochet, then in the stitch of the row of single crochets. And we continue with a single crochet in the space, a single crochet in the stitch, and so on. I have the last row left. So a single crochet in the space and a single crochet at the top of the 3 chain stitches of the double crochet. There we will make the first lace. We're going to make a chain with a multiple of 20 stitches, so that it's a round number. You can make it any length you want. I made 80 chain stitches for a length of 46 centimeters. We're going to skip 3 stitches and make a slip stitch in the 4th stitch from the hook. Then 3 chain stitches and a skip of 3 stitches. Slip stitch in the next stitch. And we start again. 3 chain stitches, skip of 3 stitches and slip stitch in the next stitch all along the chain. One last time, 3 chain stitches and slip stitch in the last stitch of the chain. And we're going to make the bottom edge by starting with a single crochet in the first stitch, which is the same stitch as the last single crochet. And we continue with a single crochet in each stitch. Here too, the last single crochet is in the same stitch as the very first. And we're going to make the second lace exactly like the first. We finish with a slip stitch in the very first single crochet of the border. And I make 2 slip stitches in the next 2 stitches to secure. We cut the thread long enough to be able to weave it in more easily. We pull, we tighten, and we will weave it in with a yarn needle. I will quickly show you a small variation. So, here, if you reach the limit of the length of the laces to make your knot, because the longer it is, the wider this part there at the bottom will be. So for it to be adjusted, the back should be overlapped like this when we tie it. And I will pass the lace through a hole in the bottom border, so that it stays in place, and I come to attach in front like this, so that it is well adjusted. This is an option if you want to keep the initial design. But I will show you a small variation to keep the lace at the back. The principle is very simple. Maybe you guessed it. It's to stop the increase at a given point, so that there is no overlap at the back. So here, when I have reached the width that I don't want to exceed, I will stop the increases on the sides. So I am at 52 centimeters, but it can be any length you want as long as it covers the chest well. We saw at the beginning of this tutorial how it is done. So 3 chain stitches to start the row. We skip the first stitch and make a double crochet in each stitch until the end. So here, I will continue the connected double crochets. So I will connect the second to last double crochet that goes into the space to a chain stitch, and the very last one that goes on the chain of 3 below. I do not connect it so that I can work it again for the border. And there you go. You just have to repeat this row to get the desired length. So there is more increase at the beginning and at the end. As for the first version, the hook must be at the top right when looking at the garment from the right side. That is to say, the double crochet rows of the collar in the right side when it is folded. And here, we will do the last row. All the same, make 4 chain stitches. We skip the first 2 stitches. So 1, 2 and double crochet in the next stitch. 1 chain stitch, we skip 1 stitch and double crochet in the next stitch, like the mesh pattern we already saw at the very beginning. And we continue along the entire length. And the last stitch at the very top of the 3 chain stitches just below. So we have finished the last row. Here, we are going to make the border, unlike the first version where the laces were at this level. For this one, the laces will be at this level, where the increase stops. And when we attach it, we are going to cross them to bring them all the way down and attach them. So it makes a small zigzag. But the principle is the same. So the border is exactly the same. Make a chain stitch and we make a single crochet in each stitch. So we start with the double crochet stitch, the very last double crochet. Then in the space, then a single crochet in the stitch, then in the space, in the stitch and in the space. That's why we didn't connect the very last double crochet of each row. So in the stitch, in the space, in the stitch, in the space until we reach the last row where there is no increase. So for me, it's this row. I continue. in the stitch, and in the space. So here is the first increase. I'm going to do the single crochet that goes at the very top here. And here I'm going to do my lace. I'm going to make it quite long since it's going to be a little crossed at the back, but it doesn't need to be too long either, because when we pull it, it will lengthen it. So I'm going to make it the same length as for the first pattern, because I was able to pull it so that it attaches in the front. So I think it's long enough. So I'm going to do 80 chain stitches. You can make it longer, shorter if you want. Maybe longer because 80 might be quite short. I just finished the lace, and I'm going to make a single crochet in the same stitch as the last single crochet. There you go. And we continue in the space, in the stitch, in the space, in the stitch, and so on. You already know how to do that. And you can even use a stitch marker to see where to put the lace. Right at the very top of the last increase. So that's the row. Last increase row. So I put in the stitch of this row. And I'll know that when I get there, I make a single crochet, the lace. Then a second single crochet in the same stitch, and we continue. And I'm showing you how to turn the corner here. And the rest is the same. So I made the second lace. So I got to the last stitch before the last row. In this space, I'm just going to make 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then I make a single crochet in the double crochet stitch. And I'm going to make a single crochet in each stitch. So you already know how to do it like the edge of the collar. And we do that all the way down. Here I come to the very last space. So here I have made 2 single crochets. And to complete the 5 single crochets like here, we just add 3 single crochets in the space. There you go. And we close with a slip stitch at the very top of the very first single crochet of the row. As we did with the first version. I make 2 slip stitches in the next 2 stitches to secure. And there we can cut, and it's finished. And we hide the thread. To tie it behind, I just have to pass the 2 laces in the last row, in the space which is at the very end. And I can reattach it here. You can make a much longer lace if you want a longer garment, so that you can pass them through several holes. Here you have quite a few available. You just have to make sure they're at the same level, at the same height. And there you have it. Thank you very much for following this tutorial to the end. Don't hesitate to subscribe for other crochet projects. Because right now, while editing this video, I already have ideas for the next top. Don't hesitate to follow me on my social networks, and don't hesitate to give me your impressions in the comments. Or if you have any questions. There were many versions of this top before arriving at this final version. But I am very satisfied with the result. The collar folds really naturally. You just have to adjust it well at the beginning. And there you have it. I press a little so that the opening is symmetrical. For mine, I used more than 1.5 skeins because it is well started. So you will need to plan at least 200 g for a cotton yarn. It mainly depends on the size you want to make. It's been a long time since I saw the Tunisian crochet technique, which consists of hooking the stitches together. It works with double crochets, treble crochets or more. But this is the first time I've tried it on one of my projects, and frankly, I'm happy with the result. Anyway, happy crocheting and see you soon.